Guys, RawMaster18 here, bringing you guys another video, not a deck list video like I usually do. This video is actually going to be a different one. It's actually a book review. It's going to be my first book review that I've ever done on YouTube. And the book that I'm actually going to be reviewing today is November 22nd, 1963 by Stephen King. And I'm going to have it here to show you guys in just a second. I have it on my Amazon Kindle Fire that I got for Christmas. Yeah, I'll pull it up real quick. Okay, let me show it to the camera. There we go. So I just finished the book yesterday, and I just figured I'd do a book review about it. So I'm just gonna kind of tell you guys a little bit about the plot of the story. It starts off with the main character. The guy's name's Jake Epping, which I probably might say that wrong. And he's actually given his students an assignment because he's actually an English teacher, and he gives his students an assignment to write about the day that changed their lives. And one of his students, whose name is Harry Dunning, he writes it. His essay is about the day that changed his life, based off of the assignment. And what he writes in his essay kind of makes Jake disturbed. It changes him, I guess, at the beginning of the book. But the essay is about Harry Dunning. His father actually kills his family, and Harry's the only living the only living person of his family left. So Jake actually, after reading the essay, he kind of becomes friends with Harry, and so they go eat one day at the diner down in the town, and it's the guy that runs it, his name's Al Templeton. And Jake's really the only one that actually goes there most of the time, because of the fact that people think that Al kind of serves, cats and dogs in his burgers. So basically, it starts off like that, and then out of the blue one day, Jake gets a phone call from Al, saying, "I have something to show you." So reluctantly, Jake goes to the diner, and there Al shows him that he has what's called a rabbit hole in his diner that allows him to go back in time. And he goes back in time, and it's always set on a certain date that they go back, and it's September 9th of 1958. And so he tells Jake about it, and Jake goes back for 5 minutes, and he comes back. And so then Al tells him, he gives him a mission. He says, okay, he said, "I want you to go back in time and stop the Kennedy assassination." So Jake, goes back in time, but he goes back with a different mission. He plans on stopping Harry's father from killing his family. So he goes back in time, and that's the first beginning of the book. And then kind of later on, toward the end of the book, it gets to the Kennedy assassination, because he goes back in time, more than once actually in the book. But yeah, that's pretty much the gist of the plot. So what I'm going to kind of do is guys, going to give you my pros, and I kind of basically only have one con to this book, but I'm going to get to my pros first. The main pro that I have that I liked about the book, it was basically just the writing in general. Stephen King is a good author. He, the whole time I was reading the book, I was kind of on the edge of my seat, I was ready, page turning the page every few seconds, waiting to see what was going to happen next. The character of Jake was actually, a good character. His character development was amazing. And Stephen King made the guy do a lot of difficult choices, that a lot of us probably, if we were faced with them, we would do them ourselves, But it was a good story, and one thing that I liked about the story, in the plot, actually, was Stephen King had an argument in the book, and it's, that the past is obdurate, basically meaning that if you try to go back in time and change it, the past fights back, and depending on how big the change that you're trying to make, it fights back that much harder. So I thought that was a really cool idea, in the book. Now my only con that I didn't like was actually the flow of the book. Like the first 400 pages you read in the book, you're on the edge of your seat. It's like, oh, he's doing this one thing. Is he gonna stop the family from being killed? And then after that, for the next 300 pages of the book, it's about him living in the past and falling in love with this girl. And, you know, and to me that kind of seemed a little bit unnecessary, you know what I mean? Because you didn't see Lee Harvey Oswald until probably page 600 of the book. You know, the book has 836 pages, which is another big con. You know, it's a big book. So that for me was the major downfall of the book. But if I had to give it a, you know, out of 5, I would give it a 4 out of 5. Basically, the reason I didn't give it a 5 is because of the fact that the page count and, you know, and that part of it. But overall, it's a good book, so I really recommend that you guys go enjoy it. Or go read it, I should say. So if you guys like this video, I'm kind of doing this on my my HTC Inspire 4G phone. So I apologize if the quality is kind of off, but I don't actually have a camera of my own. So I just kind of figured I'd throw this together and post it on YouTube. So if you guys like it, just leave a comment, you know, and do a, you know, if you like it, you know. And I'm probably gonna be doing a few of these in the near future. So basically, I'm gonna leave this up to you guys. Actually, if you like this video, I'm trying to figure out what book to read next. I have 5 of them that I'm kind of really excited about. First one being Cleopatra's Daughter by Michelle Moran. Another one is The Rembrandt Affair by Daniel Silva. And kind of like, I'm gonna give you guys my top 5. Those are the first 2. Number 3 is Stephenie Meyer, The Host. Book number 4 is George R.R. Martin. It's called Clash of Kings, the second book of the Game of Thrones series. And then my final book, it's you know, kind of up to you guys. If you guys, you know, want a certain book that you guys would like me to review, just kind of leave a comment at the bottom, you know. But until next time, guys, you know, see you guys later. Alright, Ron Master 18. See y'all guys later.